Guys, since this is your final week, I'm glad that you learned something from me. Okay, I can see that you're progressing in Laravel. So here's the thing. I want that you guys know how to become a DevOps. Okay, so to become a DevOps, you need to know how to set up web servers. You need to how to manage web servers, actually firewalls, everything, and also TLDs, domain name. Okay, so here in Linode, uh, this is like Amazon, Microsoft Azure, DigitalOcean. So these are all hosting service provider. But since I use Linux more than 15 years, okay, because Linux was known before Amazon, Microsoft Azure server. So here still I'm using Linux. Okay, and Amazon that AWS was not yet available, and also Amazon website that e-commerce was resided in Linux. Okay, and for my experience, I don't have any incident that I was hacked here. Okay, so my clients come and go. I have a German client, I have a Singaporean clients, Australian clients. So different servers, different web servers, even file servers, even SQL servers. I always set up here. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. First, you need to create a Linode. Okay. Okay, and DigitalOcean, it's called droplet. So it's just a part, or a part of a pie. If you know pizza pie, you can slice it one. So that whole pizza pie is the server itself. Okay, so then it is sliced by tens, 20s, even big servers, 50s, like that. So that's what we are going to build here. Okay, so now let's choose our OS preferred. So since I am using CentOS, so I'm going to choose CentOS 7. Okay, and then select a region, Singapore, because the Singapore servers has a good latency for us here, because I am assuming that my client here in the Philippines. But if your client reside in Australia and she is advertising locally there in Australia, please select Australian server or near of Australia, like Sydney. Okay, that's Australia. If you're like before that, my client reside in Europe, so I choose London or UK. Excuse me. Okay, so here's the thing. I use CentOS 7 because I prepare it, because this is the most used for any web servers. But I also use Ubuntu here, and install Webmin, VirtualMain, another operating system. I mean web server like isconfig, Clockso. So I've done more than 20 installation already, different kind of web servers, and I have my list no, for the specific clients, what is the best for my client. Okay, now we will select for a dedicated IP address. I usually select this one, dedicated 128 gigabyte. Okay, for any e-commerce website that serves millions of uh, surfer or clients or visitors each month. So this one I always selected. And for those uh, clients that use for their personal, I can depend upon the budget, you can use dedicated 4 gigabyte. Okay, dedicated 8 gigabyte, dedicated. But if you are using WordPress that is very CPU intensive, you may use this dedicated server, dedicated CPU. Then, but if your client really need in tight budget, just use shared CPU. Okay, just to have the uh, the requirements of clients need. For example, he needs or she needs a storage of 1 terabyte, so you may select the first here in Linux. So the price here is 320, and in dedicated CPU the price there for that is a 480. Okay, so there's another catch here. If you want that the Linode server engineer also will manage your server, you will add $100 each month. Okay, but in my case, I am the one who is handling all my web servers here, client servers, SQL servers, and other servers here. So I don't I don't need them. So it's up to you. Okay, if you're a beginner. Now, if you need to have a high memory intensive program, okay, for example, I have my client that needs Irides, so then he wanted me to use the Nginx web server instead of Apache, because he wanted that her website will load in a flash of seconds. So I use this high memory. Okay, then this one I give this one to him. So I will explain it later. Then if you want to avail the cryptocurrency, okay, so you can use GPU here. Okay, so now this one is not available here in Australia, Sydney, so we'll just select Singapore. Okay, which is my preferred choice. Okay, but be sure that your monthly income for cryptocurrency mining can pay your monthly expenses here. Okay, so remember that your monthly is not really your monthly, because if you use more than of the transfer here, okay, the 16 terabyte, okay, and you will pay much more than your monthly. The same thing here. Okay, this is just a fixed rate. I mean, this is not a fixed rate here. If you don't want them to be fixed, I mean, if you will just click here automatically and don't didn't use the gapping section by clicking the settings, so you will end up paying much more than the monthly payment bill here. Okay, so now let's go to provisioning. Okay, so you may click here your by the way, I'm the owner of Cloud Hosting Box before, and even now the domain name is still mine, and Cloud Hosting Box has many clients already, but since I opt not to continue being a cloud hosting company, so I just retain my domain name. Okay, I'm waiting for a special offer to buy that domain name, since that is a ranked domain already. Okay, so you may click here your you may click here and put your input your root password, and if you want to use is H keys like me, so you will just use your current, or you may add if you want to. Okay, then of course your backup. So for example, you select this option here, so your backup will be automatically computed as 160 per month. But if you want to select this dedicated dedicated 512, then your backup will be 240 per month, right? So but if you select this 130 per month, so your backup will be 5 per month. Okay, please don't opt backup, because you don't know ahead. Okay, even how secure your website, you must have your backup running. Okay, me and an experienced cloud hoster and a DEVOPS. Aside from this backup, I usually download a backup for my personal use. So some are asking me, what's the sense for that? Okay, because based on my experience long way before, I learned in a hard way that I installed from the scratch and blah blah blah. So what's the good thing here? The online backup. The good thing here that you can just automatically run your backup if there is something happen, no? So it will not consume a lot of time. It will just consume 5 minutes, then you will be back online again. But if your backup online is also affected, then you don't have a choice anymore. Okay, so your personal backup, your downloaded backup to your PC or your Mac, then that's the time you are going to upload it and restore it. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now what is private IP address here? The private IP address here, like me, have many servers here, even load balancers and my SQL servers. I always click private IP address. This is my local IP address here. What's the use for that? Okay, aside that your server will be given a one IP address, you will have also the local IP address. That one IP address, the public IP address, is the one that is accessible, okay, for your client or for your remote configuration. Okay, so the use of that private IP address is to save your transfer deductions. Okay, your transfer from one server to another server. Okay, so for example, you have 4 terabyte here. The thing is, when you transfer file from one server to another server, especially during the maintenance, okay, or security updates, if you want to transfer files, anything, you will your monthly transfer here bandwidth will be deducted. But if you have the private IP address, especially load balancers, there will be no deduction for your uh, monthly transfer bandwidth. Okay, your transfer monthly bandwidth will be consumed by your public viewers, visitors of your website, and you as an administrator when you are downloading it from abroad. Okay, so this one will be consumed. Okay, that's the case. Now I'm not going to create Linode here because I already created. So now after you created, so you will have the so-called bare bone, or shall we say a hardware only. Okay, a piece of hardware only where you have a CPU, you have your memory, storage, and your allowance bandwidth, right? So now, here's the thing. Since it is bare bone, you need to have a web server on it so that it will accommodate websites, right? So now, assuming that I already have here the CWP Pro for this tutorial, but there are more than 50 web servers panel. What is the web server panel? It is the dashboard like this one. In my case, I choose this CWP because it's there is free and there is a paid version. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, before I use LAMP web server, I just install it manually one by one, the web server Apache. Then the LAMP is the Nginx as a web server. Then MySQL, MariaDB, or PostgreSQL, depends upon the request of your client and the client's need, and your PHP. Okay, so web control panel free. Here you may start for this one. Okay, I've done with Webman, Virtualman. There are many things here. Click Clockso, Easy Panel. Here is config. Direct admin also. The direct admin is my third choice. My fourth choice is Flex. My number one choice is cPanel. Number 11 here is my number one choice. Then my number two choice is this one, the one that I show you here. Then my number 3 is direct admin and Flex. Okay, so I'm done with Virtualman. Is my 5th. Vista control panel is not my thing. I use that for certain project, but I end up using the other one that I mentioned. Right? So assuming that you installed already, so here, this is the log. Okay, then you have already your file management here, your databases here, your PHP my admin, where you can click that one with graphics user interface. No, unlike before that I always command, just type it there at the CLI. So okay, so that was before. Now you have a very good management dashboard already here. Okay, so this is the public IP address of yours. Okay, no, so now what's the usage for this? This one is used for accessing your control panel. Okay, and this one also used for your DNS, domain name server. Okay, so now let's go to our name server configuration. Let's copy that one IP address. That IP address is from here also. I already created the dummy here, okay, for my own expenses, and I don't want to click all my Linux here because for the privacy reasons. No, I don't want you guys to see my running servers here. So okay, so I copy already the IP address, and this one is the IP address of my control panel, and I'm going to put it here and my domain name server. I'm using my Abtec, this one, Abtec. Okay, I already changed already, so that's how I want to it. Now, if we are going to click into DNS and see our Abtec Live DNS report, so it is propagated and it's pointed to 139.162.42.148. So we're good to go. So, and everything here is good except the WE record. Okay, I don't want that to troubleshoot as of now because it will take times, and this one is just for demo purposes. Okay, just an overview, and I cannot cater all of these things in one session. So why I am using Dynadot? Okay, actually I have Dynadot, I have name server as my, I'm just showing you that my Dynadot because my Dynadot has a very few domain names, but my Namecheap has a lot of it confidential clients. Okay, so okay, here's the thing. Now I already pointed my domain name server to the the server that I created. Now in my control panel, I already created the domain name Abtec here by just clicking domain and click add domain, and the file here is here already by clicking file manager. So at the public folder is the active, this one is the Abtec Live. Okay, so let's I already installed the WordPress here. This is WordPress, my active live. Okay, so active live is a WordPress. Yes, and that WordPress integrated to Laravel. So my Laravel here is virtual Laravel. So let's type virtual Laravel public. Okay, so that's integrated. Okay, now actually I also integrated this WordPress with Laravel. I mean, not only Laravel, as you can see here, there are attendees, virtual attendees, so you can actually you can actually integrate it. Okay, I just want to show you how to if the integration is really working. Yeah, for example, this is my admin here. Now I'm going to log in. So already log in, then use all users here. So here is Raniel at Gmail, so that's the one. Then I'm going to log in there at Laravel also. Now that's also the same. Okay, then click login. Expect that the dashboard here is not yet configured, so here's the logout only. That is and you know that is already integrated. Okay, so meaning when I create a username here, for example, I'm going to create a username Reniel 1, then Reniel another Zerian at hotmail.com, Rainiel Absidy. Then let's copy that password. Okay, and add new user. Okay, so now let's log out here. Click log out, and let's type Raniel1, and my password. Okay, it's login. Then let's log out here in Laravel, and let's log in here in Laravel, and let's type Raniel1 and password. Then let's log in. Email address, so you remember that email address is Ebenezerian at Hotmail. So log in. So let's take a look. Okay, so that's it. So Laravel is accepting only for the email address that we use to register in WordPress. As you can see that this one is Ebenezerian. The same thing happened. The only thing that WordPress can boot accept username and email address. Okay, so that's it for the integration, and hope you will be serious in your doing such thing, because it certainly pay you a lot of money. Okay, so if you know something here, so this one, so how I integrate the WordPress to Laravel. So as you can see here that my virtual Laravel here, there are many also the configuration here in config. You can edit here the content and change anything here if you want to. So this one is I put here the app models, something like that. Okay, let's take a look the other configuration. This one is the core cell, is the one that I use to integrate to WordPress. So you can see here my connection is WordPress here. So this is the class that being declared there at the authentication. So connection is WordPress. Then let's take a look for the database. Okay, PHP my admin here. I just show you an overview. I will not explain you how I have done it from the scratch, because it will take a lot of time. Okay, so as you can see here that this one is for my WordPress. So, and this one is for my Laravel. Laravel. This one. Now let's take a look with my SQL Server Manager. This is the list databases and list of user here. Okay, it's loading, as you can see here. So these are my three integration, because aside from Laravel I also integrated it to Attendice. I don't I don't need to explain that one because I already required you to know uh, Laravel and Laravel framework, and I hope that you knew also WordPress. So now the thing is here, why I show you, because I want you guys to input, okay, your local web serve local task here in the public. Okay, click public and click Laravel here. Okay, and input your task. Okay, so that you may see also your work through internet. Okay, so do not touch anything except virtual Laravel. Okay, and this will serve your final output. Okay, and be sure that you will discuss it to your team members so that they will know also. You can use your uh, you can use your Zoom to discuss this thing. Okay, so I hope that you can pass it before 18 of this week, or 8 during 18. So 18 will be August 18 will be on Thursday. So before Thursday you may pass it if you're done, because I believe your report, you said that you already did locally. So what you are going to do here is just to include all your tasks from local to virtual Laravel. You may click first thing, click file manager, then after file manager, click public, then after clicking public, click virtual Laravel. Then everything will be fine. Okay, so I think that this is very clear to you, and if you have any question, please do replay this video, because all of my instructions are already here, and avoid asking, because you are an OJT guys, okay, and this is your final. Okay, so do what you can do. Okay, I'm open for any question, but to one person also, or to one person of your team, your leader, which actually almost every day he communicate with me. Okay, so that's it. So I just using the backup, then I'm going to give you the access here. So though this is a dummy, please assume that this is a live website, right? And thank you very much.